Namaste. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome. Hello. Lovely to see you all strolling in. Thank you for being here today. Big welcome to Donna. Hello. Let me go up. Oh, it looks like Asha is here. Hello, Asha. Welcome. All right, starting at the top, Ruchi. Ruchi was here ages ago. And Andrew, Well-Tempered Claire. I will talk about the spread. I also want to talk about the inspirational spread that Gerald Tarot Stash did yesterday on his channel. Donna. Who else is here? Julia. It has been a beautiful spring day in the UK. That's great. It's raining here. It's not very pretty. It's drizzling, but it's slowly coming. It's somewhere between 6 and 8 degrees, so it's still very, very cool. Hello to Tammy Ann. Welcome. And Hannah's here as well too. Dancing Soul Sister. Asha, hello. Welcome. Kristen Louise, hello. Namaste to you. Evangelina, hello. And it is Aisha. Okay, thank you. I should write that down. My book is getting too crowded, so I'm going to print my famous list. And don't even know where I'm going to put Aisha, but we'll figure that out. Okay. Ash. Show is Aisha. I'll try to remember to add that. So I have a couple of questions for you that have come up this week. And Effie is here. Hello, Effie. Welcome. Did I miss anybody? I hope not. All right, so here's one of the questions. This lovely deck, which is the Druid Craft Animal Oracle. One of you was commenting on a previous video that I did with this deck, and I love the Druid. I love the Druid Craft plant, animal, and the tarot itself. And this is one actually that lends itself really, really nicely to this season. And I feel like it's not a deck that I have worked with a lot. And so perhaps one thing I will do is to pull a card a day and spend some more time reading the detailed guidebook. But one of the questions was this. It's not one, it's the question about this deck. How do you get a yes or a no question from an oracle deck? That was the question. And I thought that is a very interesting, to think that an oracle could do that, to give you a yes or a no. I love that there's dragons in this deck as well too. So just think about that, because I'm not even sure that an oracle can say yes or no. And one of the things that I have tried to do in these Tuesday sessions is to I don't know if I like to share with you the importance of good questions. And a yes or a no question is so very, very limiting. But I'm going to hold my response and see if I work with this deck for a month or so, like, a card a day for 30 days, if I can come up with some sort of answer, some sort of response to that. Is there a way to get yes or no questions from an oracle deck such as this? I wonder. Okay, let me know. Effie says, I use numerology for yes or no, but I lost your comment, but never tried it with an oracle deck. Yeah, it's a little tricky. Andrea is going to use the Gaian for these readings. Great. Hello to Irene. Okay. All right. So I want to go to talk a little bit about what I wrote in the description box. You can read for yourself if you like. As the sun makes its way into Aries, right, which it did on Sunday, the days begin to grow longer and we see new life in the buds of the trees. And I know for a lot of people in the Northern Hemisphere, this is just like, it's so wonderful to see new growth. It is inspiring. It can be equally kind of a little pushy, you know, we're coming out of the hibernation, and sometimes the push of spring can be a little challenging for people. But I know it is encouraging as well too for a lot of us. And so here are some of the questions I was thinking about for today. What signs of renewal are awakening within you? And with the abundance of fire surrounding us today, so we're in the sign of Aries, but the moon today is in Sag, so that's what I was referring to. And also this afternoon, the moon and the sun are in a very auspicious aspect. So I feel like this is a really good day for readings. It feels like we're going to be encouraged, supported, maybe even pushed a little bit in an inspirational kind of a way. So I offered up 3 questions. And the reason I wanted to call it Gently Awakening to Spring Spread is because this transition, I want to recognize, can be challenging, and all transitions can be challenging for people. So let's slowly begin to move into the next step of the journey. You know, there's no reason right now we have to jump in feet first, you know, diving into the deep end. We can begin to kind of get used to a new flavor, a new way, and slowly grow with it and nourish it. So I began to think about these questions. And so this is what I'm offering up for today. What has been cultivating beneath the surface that I am now ready to receive guidance from? So yeah, so this might be familiar, it may not, but it's been right there, and it's definitely been in our radar to some degree. 2, how might I nourish this? And 3, how might this affect me moving forward? So is this what influence will this awakening have over me? And I thought what I would do is to do a reading for the collective to start with, and then we'll get to your questions. And of course, you don't have to use this spread, but this is a great opportunity to get yourself in sync with the energy of the universe, which is always really, really helpful. I'm using the Wilder Woven Tarot by Greg White, and that is also in the description box below. This was a gift from Gerald at Tarot Stash. And on Sunday, he did some live readings with 2 other readers and had a very kind of similar spread that they were doing. They each pulled a card, 1 for what needs spring cleaning, 2, what needs refreshing, and 3, what seeds need planting. And I thought those were great questions as well too. So these are the kinds of questions that will get terrific answers at this time of year. Let's just say that. So if you would like to revise your question, I see some of you have already been posting questions in the chat, please feel free to do so. This reading is for the collective on this 22nd day of March 2022 in the sun sign of Aries and the moon sign of Sagittarius. The first card is to become aware of what is, well, this is the renewal, right? This is what is coming to the surface. Big breath in and out. I'm so looking forward to teaching class tonight. The topics we deal with. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, so let's have a look here. Love is in the air. Everywhere I look around. I don't even know what that song is. What is that song? It's funny. It just came to mind. Okay. Hi, Nina. This is I forget what you call, is it a narwhal? It's not a narwhal. Is it a narwhal? But this is really interesting how the animal is piercing energetically something within. There's a focus. There's a sense of focus and there's a sense of purpose, almost as if when I'm talking about things that come to the surface, often this deeply taps into our emotions. And so I want to say that this is a time to allow your heart to open, allow poetry to be in your life, allow perhaps expression of emotion, to trust that the emotions that you feel are ready to come into focus. And perhaps this is a time for you to actually pierce through a layer of protection. Thank you, Patricia. Love is in the Air by John Paul Young. To pierce through a layer of protection, to pierce through perhaps a veil, a shroud that you've been hiding behind. And I like what Andrew wrote, because this creature has a mysterious quality to it, right? And I think if we're talking about love and we're talking about relationships, we need to respect the magic and the wonder and the mystery of it all as well, too. Okay, so how might you nourish this? How might we nourish this? That is quite funny. King of Wands, Dragonfly, focus, leadership, ambition. So be quite ambitious in this expression. Put some passion into it. Put some passion into it. Dragonfly. Dragonflies also have that magical quality to them. It's almost as if what I'm looking at here with the conjunction of these two animals it's just what I said a moment ago, that be in awe, be in awe of what is around you, and trust that what you want to say and what you want to do is guided. But it's okay, quite literally, to take the bull by the horns. We have a knight and we have a king here. So it is time for you to act. It is time for you to step up and to step forward. Julie, I'm not sure if I said hello to you, and also hello to Amy. Welcome. How will this affect me? How will this affect me? Four of Pentacles. We have a raccoon here. And the raccoon is I want to say that it's almost like there is an action and a response. So you put something out, you do something, but then there is a need to turn in, to come. So I see both of these cards as quite active, and this one is as receptive. It's like a gentle response to your action. So we go out into the world, we speak, we act, we do, we initiate, we lead. But then when we come home, we need to to group and to gather in. So think of this Four of Pentacles as a gathering in. And let's not focus on the hoarding aspect of this card, but think about in a gathering of resources. So we come home from a day of work and we take time to regroup. We take time to, um, and you've heard me use this expression before. Not only do I talk about resources, but inner resources. So to check your inner resources, to take care of them, to also nourish your inner resources. So what I'm saying here is that these first two cards might make you feel a little depleted. It might be a bit boisterous at this time. So when you have the opportunity to rest, regroup, recover, that's exactly what you need to do, right? So it's a balance thing, right? Hmm. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Welcome to Tina. Oh my goodness, I want to go back. There's some really good comments here. Um, all right, let's go back. Some really good comments. So Aisha says, my card pull for yesterday was break open your shell. You are meant to shine. Exactly. So that fits in perfectly. Julia is drawn to the collective energy that comes through. Hmm. Thank you, Julia. That's really that's good to know. And I feel like this message for you in relation to what you've just shared with us here feels important as well to remember, because as you when you take on a promotion, there's a sense of perfectionism that can be highlighted, right? So do take time to take care. And I recognize this isn't a Four of Swords, but it is a homey card, right? And I feel that it's this gathering in is important. Let's go to Amy's comment. I just learned my Myers-Briggs type is Knight of Cups, and I doubted for a minute, but this all makes sense for me personally. Well, isn't that brilliant? That is. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Peace Ninja Woman. Hello to Tina. And then we had a confirmation of the fiery energy in the center of the reading, I believe. Right. And Donna's confirming what I just said to Julia. Okay. Aisha has more confirmations there. All right. So Ruchi is up first. Ah, this is an interesting comment. And Spirit whispered, walk away from perfection. Isn't it interesting how words just, and I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. You know, this is not scripted in any way. And so it's wonderful when we have these intersection of words. Okay. Thanks for sharing, Andrew. Thank you. Right, so little different, but interesting. Intersection. Interesting intersection. Okay. So when we look at this in terms of Ruchi's question, let's have this sort of as a layer underneath. And I want to say, Ruchi, that perhaps this is a time for you to, what's the Star Trek expression? Does that apply? I'm not a Trekkie, but I'm wondering if that Star Trek motto would fit here. Go boldly forth. This is not a time, Ruchi, to sit back and wait for something to happen. This is a time to embrace your emotion, to share it, to step forth. And perhaps even in the workplace. In the workplace, there might be an opportunity for you. But let's pull some personal cards for Ruchi. Let's hold light and love around Ruchi as we explore what is coming next for her in love. All right. Oh, I have something to share with you. I got my amulet and necklace from, and I had it a few days early, and I opened it at the equinox from Tulku. I'll share it with you in a few minutes. Let's do Ruchi's reading first. Big deck, little challenging to shuffle. Okay, gentleness here. I feel, now I don't know what you do for work, Ruchi, but in regards to your question, I feel like this might be a time as a caretaker. What's coming next for you in love? The importance of love in nurturing all beings. Now, I don't know if you're talking about meeting somebody new or a new relationship or so forth, but love can definitely be expanded by opening your heart, Knight of Cups, and a sense of sharing and loving and giving. That's really cool, Andrew. Right? Because Queen of Pentacles gives of herself. And you know that expression, the more you give, the more you receive. And so if you don't work in a job, or you're not in a position where you're caring for others, caring for a grandmother, for example, an elderly parent, a child, this is a way to connect to love and to your heart. Okay, Eight of Pentacles. I think Andrew got the same card. I just want to go back to Andrew's comment here. You got Eight of Pentacles too in the second position. Okay, so I got Eight of Pentacles in the second position. Pentacles, Pentacles. And the Devil. And you got Six of Swords. Okay, interesting. All right, so I'm just going to read my cards, and then we can compare notes in a little bit, or Andrew, you can compare notes yourself with Ruchi. I want to just kind of connect the story of these two cards in that if this is what is coming to the surface, your need, your ability, your skills to caretake. The Queen, remember, is also a leader. She's able to take charge, to work independently. She doesn't need another one to prove how strong and powerful and capable she is. She stands on her own. And it is important to recognize the skill. So the second card, the intention was, how can I nourish this? Well, by refining your skills, by perfecting your skills. I wonder if there is a culinary course, if there is a first aid course, if there is a way to refine your skills in some way. Now, really interesting that how might this affect you long term? I think that is a knife coming through that. There's a knife coming through the ice, a bloody knife. Okay. The wolf is out. Let's just look at the illustration first. The wolf is out in the cold. It is winter. There is a sense of lone wolf energy, and there's also a sense of danger. And so to be cautious. And this is not a great card to come up considering the question that you asked, but also in the third position, how this, so this is a challenge for you. There's a challenge for you being out on your own as to being in the company with others. And I wonder if this also is a bit of a fear, if there's a fear of being alone. And one of the greatest lessons of the devil is to understand what it is we are imposing, self-imposing. I want to read something to you from Greg's words here. Sorry, I'm taking a little longer with this one because I'm trying to weave together a question that doesn't exactly fit into the spread. But I just want to see something about this particular image. It's an interesting choice for the devil card. In an open patch of snow, a set trap lies in wait. A sharp blade covered in frozen blood patiently anticipates the prey. The smell of the kill has attracted a hungry wolf, and the trappers intend to trick the beast into gnawing at the frozen blade, revealing its sharp edges to slice. Okay, well, we don't need the detail. That's horrible. So perhaps in a caretaking role, your perception is one of being trapped. And so I'm seeing that this is a perception, Ruchi. What is important to embrace is that there is a process, there is a growth, there is an aspect to understanding higher frequencies of love through your, and I use the word work in quotation marks, and that while it might appear or while you might perceive it as a trap, that is only a perception. And that may be something that challenges you on a regular basis. And so this is it's a difficult viewpoint to work with. Audrey's here. I just want to go back and see what fear itself is the trap. So is it fear of being alone? Is it fear of not finding a lifelong partner? Is it yeah, and I want to go back, Richie, to that initial reading that encourages you to be out, to be with people, to shine, to not sit back, to not wait. To be in service feels really, really important for you at this time, okay? All right, lots of messages. You know, it's hard to not go into great depths with these readings. So thank you for your patience. And I should really go deeper and wider, but I need to go on to the next person. So thanks. Take some time, Luci, with that to contemplate. All right, scrolling on down. Aisha says, maybe Spirit is trying to say it's not time yet for love, but to put your energy into yourself and your work. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of in a nutshell what I was going for. Irene is in Aries. All right, where are we at? I'm going to go to Donna here. I don't know. Okay. Patricia T is next. Am I in the right place? Yes. Okay, good. Phew. I need to scroll down here. Thank you. Pallavi is here. Hello, Pallavi. All right. I want to have a home. What would it take for me to have one? Okay. Good things are coming your way, Patricia. So my back is really lit up, but not in a grief sort of way. It feels very energized, very sparkly and active. Almost as if your spine is being strengthened. Interesting. I have to contemplate these sensations. They're quite different. Okay, so we have Ace of Cups energy. So you want to put your whole heart into it. Love, intention, intuition. So this card is it's a beautiful. It's almost like a message of what you intend. Remember that I say remember. I don't know if you read the tarot, but this contains all of the potential of the Suit of Cups, and the Ten of Cups is this beautiful family and home. And so the potential to manifest a home is great. Focus is necessary, and there is definitely work to be done in manifesting. And Audrey's beautiful words, home is where the heart is. So where you put your love, where you put your intention, where you put your focus is where this seed will begin to grow. And with love, by allowing an emotional investment, you will begin to see this grow. So we have Ace of Cups, the Fool. So we also have another seed, right? We have a seed inside the egg, so to speak. New opportunities, a window. And with the Fool here, this home may not be where you are physically, geographically at this time. So it's important to follow your heart. Perhaps, Andrew, because of the nest. And also there's a sweetness, there's a gentleness, there's no ostentatiousness to these cards. They're humble. These cards feel humble. What would it take for me to have one? I think a sense of adventure and being open to pretty much anything. And I love Andrew's idea. Homes inherently provide security. The Fool can be insecure in its wanderings. Homes provide a foundation. And so you don't Kristen has a really good point. You don't want to wander endlessly, but like I said, it might not be where you are at this point. Six of Wands. So that's a beautiful card to have here. And one of the things I feel with the six is that perhaps there is some teamwork, there is some community, there is connection that is necessary. And that could be with a partner, that could be with not necessarily a romantic partner, but with somebody who you provide one aspect and then the other person provides the other. So with the two of you coming together, you create this beautiful potential. Six of Wands and all of the sixes carry that energy of beauty and balance and completion. So these are three very fortunate, auspicious, forward moving cards. And if I were you, I would do a vision board of sorts, and I would make sure that my voice and what I'm putting out into the ether is creating what it is that I want to create. I think the nest has to be built before you can call it home. It can be emotional too. Do you know the movie? Okay, what's the movie? It has Diane Lane. Is that her name? Lane. She is in. It's Under the Tuscan Sun. Under the Tuscan Sun. I'm going to shuffle and get ready for the next person while I tell this story, because this is a beautiful story, and I feel there's a reason that I want to share this with you. But this woman is divorced, and decides to leave everything behind. There's a bit more to this story, but she ends up in Italy. Some friends gift her a trip, and she ends up in Italy on this tour. And there's a couple of signs, and she ventures into this property, ends up purchasing the property in Tuscany. And once she gets there, she feels like she is alone, and she thinks she's made a mistake. And what happens is that she does renovations, and she cooks food for the construction crew, and she makes friends with the neighbors. And it's almost as if through purchasing this property, she brings a real mix of community together. And there's food, and there's a wedding that happens, and she finds happiness and love by bringing others together. It's a really beautiful story in that way. Like she misses out on a guy that she thinks is her true love, but it's almost as if there's a greater picture of things coming together, and then in the end somebody else wanders into her life. But that's what it feels like for me, Patricia. That Six of Wands, and much like what Andrew said as well too. Okay. So the next reading is for Aisha. Okay. Well, for starters, I'm going to say this is a huge question for a little 3-card tarot spread. And so what I can offer you, Aisha, is awareness of the shift that is happening at this time that may set you on a new path that's going to make things make a lot more sense. Okay. So let's hold light and love around Aisha as we reflect upon that which is, poking its head through at this time, saying, Aisha, Aisha, listen, pay attention to me. Because if you listen to me and if you respond, this will help to get you back on track, get you back onto your path. Queen of Pentacles. So do you remember what I was talking about? Was it with Ruchi? This is such a huge archetype, right? This can be the chef. It can be the mother. I mean, the chef isn't really an archetype, but this is one who cares for others. This is the nurse. This is the what do you call them? The like at a home for the elderly, the person, or this is the one who serves in a extremely giving way. This could also speak to connection with the environment. I'm wondering if this has to do with animal care as well too. Okay, so there's a reason, there may be an opportunity for work in that. And then we have Queen of Cups. So these two energies work beautifully together, right? These are the two receptive queens. And so your life purpose is one of nourishing and caring and responding to others' needs. For sure, it could be responding to nature. It could be in sense of protecting wildlife, something like that. But the mother archetype is very, very strong. Wouldn't that be fun if we got the Empress here? Okay. So what I said for this third position was that what is the effect? What is the effect of this awakening? And the effect of this awakening is you wanting to hold up a torch, of you feeling empowered. So in what way can you embrace and embody this mother archetype? And these two receptive queens are really good at listening. They're very good at listening. So make sure that your communication skill, you're confident in your communication skills. If you haven't taken a course in communication, that might be really useful at this time. Working on your intuition. And then at a practical level, there's something that is ready to be initiated. And that might be actually stepping into a course to train with something. But you're going to feel the power of that torch once you accept that archetype of the queens. I want to empower women through tarot and nursing their shadows. So part of that process is deepening your connection with the feminine archetype, deepening your connection with the great mother in all of her aspects, and being intimately comfortable with all of her shadows, all of her aspects, and her power as well too. So this feels very good, very good. Thanks, Aisha. That feeling when you swap your deck rack with new decks is very springy. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so Pallavi is up next. Let us go to Pallavi. Okay. Sorry, I'm still scrolling down. I'm looking for when Pallavi came into the conversation. There's a lot of comments here. Oh, Misty's here. Misty, hello, hello. And there's Pallavi. Okay, I found you. Okay. And hello to Audrey. We have another Audrey here. Welcome. And Dion is here. Hello, Dion. Okay, so this is for Pallavi. Can I get spiritual guidance, please? I don't know if there is another question. And if you can hear heavy machinery outside, that is what it is. They're tearing up the street behind me. I have no idea why. Sometimes I feel like construction is for the sake of construction. This reading is for Pallavi. I'm going to do just generally work with the spread that I created for today, Pallavi. You take a big breath in and out. Stop what you're doing. Focus your energy here. And I'm just going to do one thing. So I remember to share with you. Just bear with me here. Remember, I was sharing with you this deck on 2 recent Fridays. Well, I purchased an amulet from Carla and went through a bit of a process to discover which amulet felt right for me at this time. And I'm going to share it with you after Pallavi's reading, but I'm just finding the card that corresponds with it. There we go. Okay. One more shuffle for Pallavi. Okay. In the reading for the collective, we had the Knight of Cups, and we have had this card before. Okay. So I feel like I've spoken to this so much today already, and a lot of these readings are weaving together. What's striking me about the animal and this particular Queen of Cups is there's also a sense of vulnerability here as well too. So perhaps that sense of a vulnerability in the past has held you back from exposing or sharing your intuition, um, your empathy, and so forth. But it's time to fully embrace this and allow it to come to the surface. What is on the bubble? I need to see what is under. I could go to the guidebook, but doesn't this look, what does this look like to you? This little thing here. I need to see what that is. I wonder if it could be a hat, you know. To me, it looks a bit like a portal, almost as if there's something to. Where are the cups? This is one of my pet peeves, you know, how decks are ordered in guidebooks and in random orders. I think this deck has cups first. Okay. Guided by intuition, a gentle beluga whale glides gracefully through the subtle realms. In this unseen place, she feels connected to others. Da 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 da. Doesn't tell me what it is. I don't know what that is. Is it a drain? Is that the thing in the drain to catch the debris? Somebody tell me what this is. Okay, let's carry on. Okay. Knight of Swords and Two of Swords. Okay, Pallavi. We've had a lot of court cards today. So in that in itself, there's people that are reflecting these messages back to you, everybody. There are loved ones, co-workers that spirit has placed in front of you to send these messages back loud and clear. So please pay attention to them. There's a darkness in this Knight of Swords. And so I want to say, be very careful with the words that you weave. And maybe there has been resistance in the past to this emotional expression, expressing your empathy, your intuition, because you have struggled with language. And I mentioned to somebody earlier how important communication skills are. And if you are working as a tarot reader, if you are working in supporting other people, that the whole communication package is really, really important. And yes, we have that relationship between deep diving and high flying, but this bird is losing a lot of feathers and there's a danger there. It's almost as if this bird has broken free of its cage. you see all these barbed wires down here? So this bird has found their path and is breaking free. Somebody suggested it's a hole in the ice. I'm really not sure what it is. But the Queen of Cups, regardless, the beluga whale, swims free and is quite joyful. This is really interesting. So I want to ask you, where in your life do you need to break free in order to be the intuitive, the empath, to express yourself, to do all of that? There's a sense of going out on your own and not letting family, culture, neighbors hold you back. And that in that situation, you're going to feel you are of two minds. You're not sure which way to turn. And I kind of feel that the answer is not black, nor is it white. These swords, one sword is black, one sword is white, which is very clever. These two swords come together, and that the solution is in balance. It does. And the bird seems to have come to rest once it has broken free. But I feel like there's a commitment that is needed. There's a commitment that is needed to yourself, to remain true to yourself, so that you can continue to feel free. Pallavi says, I have been breaking free from preconceived notions, negative thoughts. And so as you break free of that, then you need to land somewhere, right? We can't be for some reason, the word commitment feels really important to me. So you committing to the way that you envision and you see your new version of life is really important. So the first, the breaking free step is in process, but then what does it look like on the other side? And probably on your own for some time, right? Or as a new version of yourself. So how can you commit to this new self who has let go of all that you've let go of? Do you feel a little bit naked? I bet you feel a bit vulnerable. And so make sure that you have sufficient protection and nourishment so that you can continue to grow and be in this new way. Okay? All right. I'm not sure, Andrew. Okay. How are we doing for time? I guess Effie. Donna, is there anybody besides Effie? Thanks for the super chat, Effie. I appreciate it. Okay, so we'll do Gomez and then Effie, and that will be a wrap for today. Here's Gomez. Gomez, I get the notifications a half an hour more into the time. Okay. All right, so this is the spring spread for you, Gomez. And I'm going to kind of do these next 3 readings a little more quickly. I have a Reiki session at 2 o'clock. Okay. This reading is for Gomez. Let's hold light and love around Gomez as we bring awareness to the gently awakening to spring spread. What is coming to the surface? Okay. Knight of Cups. This is the repeating message that was in the collective in the first position, Gomez. So focusing on the energy. Gomez's question is after that. Okay, so let's read this. I had very tough stuff for about 20 years. I need to know how to break this cycle. Before that was very happy. Also, no home, disabled and sick. Need to get together and start living again. Tough. No. Gomez, sorry about that. Wow. Okay. Gomez, I suggest that when we're done, we go back and you read you focus on the reading for the collective. This is the first card we also had in that reading. And I understand through your challenges that you may have lost faith, lost trust in the magic, the mystery, and the divine. And here we have this unicorn of the sea that is really focused on energy and energy medicine. And so I want to say that focusing on your spiritual health will have important ripple effects. The Knight of Cups listens and focuses. And the way that this narwhal is drawn feels highly significant here. So this is what is coming to the surface. Another repeating card. The messages today have been very, very nourishing and very healing. And I also want to respond to, so there's no home, disabled and sick. Okay. Despite your circumstances. So remember that your circumstances are, they are an illusion. And I know that those words can seem really, really harsh, and everybody who's been through difficult times can understand how much those kind of words can hurt. But there are, through these challenges, we can learn to arise. But what I was feeling, Gomez, is that we can, in our sense of being a victim, we can begin to feel less than. We don't feel, perhaps you don't feel handsome, you don't feel strong, you don't feel like you deserve to be loved. Why would anybody want to be with me? But what I'm suggesting here is that there's something that is something deep within your soul that is really beautiful. And if you were able to share the joy and the spark of the heart of Gomez, that would be enough to initiate a shift of change. Bravery, being brave. And I don't know if if there's any counseling or circles or group sessions where you can begin to express your feelings and your emotions and feel support for letting some of this go. And I think part of this is, it's almost as if that narwhal is bursting a bubble. And so holding all of this in is not going to serve. It's really important to release it and to let it go. How will that affect you long term? This is the King of Cups. So this is all water. All water. I see your comment, Gomez. Sorry. I am a female. I know it has been a long time. And we have a knight and we have a king. So, and we have the ace. And so these are active figures in releasing and expressing. So I really want to encourage you to find a group, to find support so that this is possible. Because with this much water, all these water cards also show us how challenging this time is for you. And so it's really important that you have support. And let the tears flow and share your feelings. And Andrew, that's a really good question. Because we have the knight and the king. So there very well may be peace, harmony, release related to relationship with masculine archetype as well too. Okay. There's much more that could be said, but start with that and check back in with us in a couple of weeks. Okay. Thanks, Gomez. Okay, so Audrey with an AU, I just need to have a quick look at your question. What energies are coming in for me this spring equinox? Okay. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, I'm going to do Audrey and then Effie. There's 2 more readings to go. It's okay. I'm all organized. My Reiki room is ready. And I guess I'll share with you my my charm at another time. This reading is for Audrey, Audrey, Audrey. So much water. Can you see this card, Audrey? Do you see how the blue whale is breaching, connecting to the moon? So this position is what is coming to the surface, and the whale is quite literally coming to the surface. What is coming to the surface is, I want to say, the high priestess also, right, is about secrets and mysteries. And so there may very well be a secret that is coming to the surface. Emotions are running high, and that's surprising for me, considering the season that we are in and the energy of the moon today, but all of these emotions. And this might be connected very much to your ancestry. I wonder if this has to do with karmic pattern that has come through multiple lifetimes. This is an extra card in this deck, the Tree of Life. I like that there is a nest here. There's also a sun. And so I would encourage you, have you ever done work with, what's it called, like ancestry.com or something like that? Because this might be a time in learning more about your family. Wow. Okay. In learning more about your family, there might be some healing messages in that. Okay. Wheel of Fortune. What is in the process of shifting and changing, of course, is a natural, is part of the natural flow. It's what I want to say. Just be in the flow right now. Roll with the changes instead of resisting the changes. It's important to flow with them. Are whales the ancestors of fish? I'm not sure. But it feels like the fish and the whale are fluidly moving across this picture. Right? It's almost as if this fish goes up and that whale goes down. It's like there's a dance. Maybe there's a dance with the ancestors. Audrey says, my mom's mom, we put in a home this year after living with us for 10 years. Difficult relationship for my mom. Deep traumas on that side. Being in a relationship this year has brought those out. Okay, so there's something about learning about the ancestry and the ancestral patterns that is part of your inner healing. And the strength, these are two majors, right? Two major arcanas plus this extra card. So this feels like a bit of a project. And I would embrace this project and know that it is for your higher good, for your healing at this time. And like Andrew said, we can approach this on a few different levels. And if you're interested in mystic work through the Kabbalah, that is also another way to work into this. Okay. All right. And I'm going to do one more reading. This is for Effie. Effie. Miss Effie, are you still here? Thanks, Donna. So, Audrey, one of the things I want to say with that response is that you have the potential. You have the potential to heal the pattern. So by you doing this work, you have the potential to shift the energy of the grandmother, of these patterns. It's almost as if through doing this work, you can. I don't see time as linear, right? So this is a spiral. So in you diving in and doing this work, you can heal you can heal them, and you can heal future ancestors as well too. All right. Great, Effie. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so we're going to do the spring spread for Effie. Remember that the energy of fear is very clingy. And so it is essential to do practices to release the fear. I am safe. I am strong. I release the fear. Effie, what is coming to the surface for Effie at this time? Let's hold light and love around Effie. We've had a lot of aces today, a lot of new growth, Ace of Pentacles. So to me, and we've had like lots of shifting energy. Okay, so this can respond to your health, your body, your self-employment project. I want to say to bring all of your energy together, to get really focused, and then to let that explode. Another ace, which we've seen this ace a few times today. Okay, so there's a sense of the unknown, and there's a vulnerability in the aces. And these opportunities, it can be difficult to know which way to turn, which way to go, what to do, what to act, but it's important on a daily basis to feed them. We must nourish these aces so they grow to their fullest potential. Thank you for all supporting, Audrey. Okay, so feeding and nourishing your body, feeding and nourishing your spiritual wellness, feeding and nourishing your heart so that you can realize this growth is huge. What are the long-term effects of these aces? Six of Cups. Okay, so here in the Six of Cups, again, a six. We did have a Six of Wands earlier. So I said the sixes speak to this space of the heart. They speak to a place of peace and tranquility and gentleness. And both, you have the two receptive aces. We've had a lot of receptive cards today. So this speaks highly to self-care, to, nourishment by mouth and so forth, nourishment of the physical body, but in a gentle way. Peace, harmony, beauty. Surround yourselves with all of that. And that may very well be through a relationship that you continue to build for the rest of your life. And for those of you that missed the collective reading, this is It's amazing how these all kind of intersect together. Beauty, peace, harmony. What does that mean for you? Right? Do you bring something? Is it about planting a garden? Is it about bringing some flowers indoors? Is it about creating a meditation corner? Whatever it is, but it's about harmony. It's about building. I would say this is about building harmony, building peace, building freedom through all of that. Okay. Everybody take a big breath in, big breath out. And I want to thank you for sharing. I want to thank you for your vulnerability, um, and being open, right? Being open to all of this, because it's not easy. It's not easy for any of us. For those of you that are in the Facebook group, I have pulled the card for this week. It is Carbon. And I've got a really busy day ahead. I don't know if I'll get the post done for the Facebook group, but if you want to go ahead and if you have the guidebook, you can read in the guidebook and you can contemplate and do a little bit of research about carbon. But this is it's a great card to have for today. So you're all very, very welcome. I love having you here so much. I have so much to share, but I'm sorry, I have to go. I have a session. I have a client coming, and I think what I'll do is I will come back on again before Friday, just with announcements, and we'll just have a good old chat. Okay. Take good care. Namaste. Bye for now.